Hi, and welcome to Chapter 3 of the Data Explorer video series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to access data collected by the mobile platforms. Mobile platforms include scientific cruises, seaplane, and underwater gliders. You can access data and information about each platform by either selecting a platform in the list or by clicking on an icon on the map. This will bring up a pop-up window. For all mobile platforms, the pop-up windows are the same. At the top is a link to the data provider website. In the middle are two buttons, Details, which provides information about the platform, and History, which provides information from the Nanus Data Manager about the data stream. At the bottom is a link button that provides you a URL that will link directly to what you are looking at so that you can share with others or bookmark for future use. There are two ways to access data from mobile platforms, by using the data provider link at the top of the pop-up window or through a web app button. Since the mobile platform list is short, I will go through each platform to show you how to access data. Starting with the San Juan's PEF survey, click on the data provider link and this will bring you to a website where you can download zip files of data. For the HICDOP cruises, or Hood Canal Dissolved Oxygen Program cruises, click on the web app button. This brings you to a new web app where you can download data. You can get back to the Data Explorer by either hitting back or hover over Apps and select Data Explorer. Prism Cruises is another separate web app. This web app allows you to interact with data in three ways. The first is through this map view. Click on a location and that will bring up a window with a graph of CTD data. At the top, select the date that you want to see. Below, you can either select downcast or upcast. Below that, on the right, you can select the variable that you want to see, and you can click on the graph to make it larger. You can download the data in the graph by clicking the arrow and selecting your download format. The URL link is also available at the bottom. The second way you can get data is through the data button. This allows you to download all data from each cruise. The third way is through the plots button. On the left is a map of the cross-section of the plotted data. You have three cross-section options: Main Basin, Hood Canal, and Whidbey Island. On the right, using the pull-down menus, you can select the cruise and variable you want to see in the plot below. The y-axis is depth, with the surface of the water at the top and the bottom of the sound, shown in gray, at the bottom. Note that the scale for the top and bottom halves of the graph are different. The x-axis at the bottom shows the distance traveled along the cross-section, and along the top shows the location of the corresponding station numbers seen in the map. The data is the colors in the middle of the plot, and the legend for the data is located on the right. Finally, the matrix shows which stations have been sampled on each cruise. Back to the Data Explorer. For information and data from the Washington Department of Ecology marine flights, click on the data provider link. When the website loads, click on Long-Term Data, and then next to Marine Flight Data, click Download. When that page loads, select the location you want, the year, the month, and then the data format and time span, then click Get File to download the data. Let's head back to the Data Explorer. The next group on the list are gliders. The first is the APL glider, which has its own web app. The data from the glider is shown in the plot, and you can select the measurements that you want to see from the list on the right. Selecting Glider Position Map shows you the most recent location of the glider in dark blue, and all previous tracks in light blue. Heading back to the Data Explorer, the next on the list is the CMOP Southwest Washington glider. Click on the data provider link, which will bring you to a web page that shows data and information for the most recent deployment. Finally, the last two gliders on the list are from Oregon State University and have the same data access, so I will show you using GliderBob. Both gliders have their own web app, so use the GliderBob web app button in the pop-up window. This web app shows plots of the cross-sections of the coastal ocean off Newport, Oregon. The data is the colors, with the shoreline on the right, the bottom of the ocean on the bottom in white, and then heading off into deeper waters on the left. Longitude is shown on the x-axis, and the legend for each plot is on the right. You can select three groupings of variables from a list, and also a chart of the past few transects. The most recent location of the glider, as noted here, is shown by a crosshair on the map. That's it for the mobile platforms. Stay tuned for the last video of the series looking at remote sensing and model data access. Thanks for watching!